Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports coming to you tonight with another edition of Hollywood's Hot Topics. And tonight is a special edition because we are right around the corner from the Thanksgiving holiday. And as you all know, every Thanksgiving, the NFL has their tradition of their three Thanksgiving games. And, I've thought about this a lot, and I think I wrote about it probably a couple of years ago. Something that needed to change. And I think that my stance on it is still the same. Um, as you all know, the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys play every single Thanksgiving. And quite frankly, I'm kind of getting bored with it. I know it's been that way for the longest time. Um, and I understand that's tradition, but I really think it's time to break from tradition and create a new tradition because the entire country does not care about the Detroit Lions. I hate to say that. I'm from Michigan. I'm sure my fellow Michigan residents who are Detroit Lions fans will probably not like hearing that, but it's the truth. Nobody cares about the Detroit Lions. And as for America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, I don't really think they're America's team anymore. Um, Neither team has been successful since the early to mid 90s. Um, and why are you going to reward two teams that struggle to either stay above 500 or fail to make the playoffs every year? To me, playing on Thanksgiving should be an honor and privilege and something that is rewarded for having a great football team. It should not be some like God given right that the same two teams get to have Thanksgiving games every single year. Um, Now, I have a really fun idea for what the Thanksgiving tradition should be for the NFL. Um, I think there only needs to be two games. I think adding the third game was a little bit of nonsense. I think they did that because, again, fans got sick and tired of seeing Detroit and Dallas every single year. So the NFL gave us a third option. My opinion of how it should go is that there should be two games, one at 4 o'clock and one at 8 o'clock. I don't like the noon game because you're either traveling to get to a family member's house or you're just uh, trying to cook a meal and settle in and whatnot. So I don't like the 12 o'clock game. Never have, never will. So here's what I think should happen. Every Thanksgiving, you have two games. The 4 o'clock game should be the loser of the AFC Championship versus the loser of the NFC Championship game from the previous year. Um, that should be like one of their rewards for making it that far is being able to have the honor and privilege of playing on Thanksgiving Day. Um, then your primetime game, which would be 8 o'clock, should always be a rematch of the previous year's Super Bowl. I know that it might sound silly, it might sound cliche, but hey, both teams had a lot to be thankful for the previous year. They both made it to the Super Bowl. Um, I think that would draw more interest. I think that would draw more viewers. Obviously, would draw more ratings and probably increase sponsorships. Um, I don't get excited about Thanksgiving football like I used to because again, um, both Dallas and Detroit are mediocre at best, and they have not, like I said, they have not been successful in a very, very long time. Now, back in the early to mid 90s, when you had the primetime era of the Cowboys, Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Michael Moore, all those guys, that was fun to watch every Thanksgiving. And same with the Detroit Lions. You had Barry Sanders, Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, uh, even Scott Mitchell as quarterback. Those those were days that were fun to watch. Um, if I'm sitting down and I'm celebrating Thanksgiving with my family and whatnot, and we're all watching football, I don't want to see mediocre games. I don't want to see subpar efforts. I want to see great football games. And I don't know about the rest of you, but Detroit and Dallas don't really give you great football games these days. So that is why I came up with a solution I did. The 4 o'clock game is the losers of the AFC and NFC championship games, and the 8 o'clock primetime game is a rematch of the previous year's Super Bowl. I think that's fair. I think that's the way they should go. I think that would just draw so much more interest. I mean, let me pull up my schedule here. Um, the Dallas Cowboys this year play, I believe, the Washington football team, um, and the NFC East in general is absolutely horrid this year. Um, I um, don't understand why they would put a mediocre game like Washington and Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. And the Lions, they are playing the Houston Texans, who aren't much better. And so you have two mediocre games that nobody really cares about, that nobody is probably really going to watch. It'll probably be background noise for most of America. And then you get to your primetime game, and that's the best game of them all. And that's the Steelers and the Ravens. And that is why they need to change it up. They shouldn't have to add a third game in there just because the first 2 games are trash. And so I would strongly suggest to the NFL taking my idea that they need to break the tradition. They need to make a new tradition. And again, reward the teams that did well the year before. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. The loser of the AFC and NFC games, championship games, first game, 4 o'clock. 8 o'clock primetime game, rematch of the Super Bowl. It's honestly such a simple and easy business format from the business point of view of football that it would be just so much better, and I think people would be more interested. So I could go on and on about all this, but I'm not going to because I'll probably make more people mad than they already are listening to this. But I really do hope the NFL makes some changes and stop rewarding mediocrity and stop rewarding subpar efforts. Uh, because, like I said, while watching football on Thanksgiving, I want to watch greatness, not a dumpster fire. So, with that being said, my name is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports. You can find me at hollywoodsworldofsports.com. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, uh, Reddit, you name it, I'm probably on it. So, with that being said, hope you all have a great Thanksgiving holiday coming up. And remember, controversy doesn't come without criticism.